All right, every pony. Part 3 of Dark Magic.
Chapter 4, Fading into Darkness.
Come, my little ponies, we must hurry,
Celestia urged as they stampeded through the everfree forest. Luna seemed worried. Something just wasn't right. She decided it was best to tell Celestia.
Sister, something isn't right,
she shouted. The older sister did not reply as they approached the exit of the everfree forest. Applejack galloped quick enough to be by her side.
It's all right, Sugar Cube. Everything is gonna be just...
She was interrupted by the screams and shouts of ponies. Go! They were all followed by loud sounds of explosions. Ponyville was in ruins. Houses had caught fire. Ponies were hurt and being beaten by a mixture of Celestia's and Luna's royal guards. In the distance, Applejack could see Apple Acres in flames.
Twilight,
Pinky muttered in a low tone instead of her high-pitched happy tone as her mane flattened a little.
Princess? Why are your guards attacking Ponyville?
Fluttershy asked confusingly. Celestia frowned as she stared on.
Twilight's using a mind control spell. Come, we're almost close enough that Luna and I could use a teleportation spell.
The princess dashed off, avoiding the pleas of Ponyville citizens for her to save them. Damn. The rest began galloping after her. Rarity trotted slower behind them when she heard the sound of a dragon. She reared her head to see a grown mind control Spike in the distance.
Spike?
Rainbow Dash flew back to the distraught unicorn, pushing her with her head.
The only way to save Spike is to save Twilight, so come on!
Rarity nodded her head, tears filling her eyes as she muttered an okay. The ponies were close enough now. They could see the castle hinged to the side of the mountain, though this did not look like the castle they knew. It was dark, a black color with dark green twisted vines growing around it. Luna stared.
Twilight, what have you done? Snap out of it, Luna,
Celestia snapped.
I need your help with this teleportation spell.
Luna shook her head, clearing her thoughts as they both began gathering the magic at their disposal. With a flash of light, they were teleported to the throne room, only to be greeted by darkness.
I was wondering how long it would take.
A voice that sounded almost combined muttered.
Show yourself!
Rainbow shouted into the darkness. Just then, flares of green fire shot up from 6 torches on each side of the room to reveal the dark Twilight. Her now black mane flowed into the air like fire. Her coat was a dingy gray color with her hooves a darker shade. Her eyes were red and green, no longer that beautiful purple, and the dark purple aura flowed around them. Her horn was longer and sharper, with red tint on the top, resembling Sombra's. She was also wearing his armor.
Twilight, you must stop this!
Celestia shouted with the stomp of her hoof.
We're your friends, Twilight! Let us help you!
Pinkie Pie shouted. The dark alicorn only glared at them, her eyes almost piercing their souls.
My name is not Twilight anymore. I am now Midnight,
she shouted with the opening of her now larger wings. Just then, sharp crystal spikes shot from the throne in all sorts of different directions. It caused the ponies to step by in surprise, except for Celestia, even though there was a spike pointed directly at her throat. Twilight, no, she was Midnight now, stepped down from her jagged throne, clearing some of the spikes away to make a path for herself.
What makes you think you can stop this? Stop me!
She shouted in a booming voice.
Because we're your friends, Twilight,
Luna said. Midnight stopped her hooves hard onto the floor, causing it to crack, leading all the way up to the walls and ceiling.
Stop calling me that!
Midnight shouted again in a booming voice.
You're nothing but a second hand. No one needs you. You're useless.
Luna lowered her head, hurt by the words. It's true, she thought.
No one needs you, Luna. No one needs any of you!
Midnight shouted, speaking in madness. The dark alicorn breathed heavily before shooting beams of magic from her horn at the ponies. They all tripped over each other, trying to dodge the beams. Two of them, which burned Celestia's legs as she tried to dodge without much effort. Her overconfidence was getting the best of her. Large slabs of crystal appeared from the walls as Midnight disappeared into the darkness. They looked around, only seeing their reflections on the walls. Just then, Midnight appeared in some of the slabs. The ponies shot their elements at the crystal, blowing it away, only for it to regrow.
Oh no! Which one? Which one? Which one have I become?
Midnight teased as she appeared in more, then switching to others and others again. Celestia held up her hoof to stop the tired ponies.
Stop! They are all false. They're not her. Just fakes.
Just then, a magical blast hit them all in the back, flinging the ponies everywhere as they all shouted in pain. Midnight removed the elements from their holders. She circled them around herself, laughing maniacally. Celestia had enough strength to at least raise her head as the others groaned and moaned.
No!
She shouted. Midnight grinned as she shattered them to nothing but multicolored dust. Before Celestia could get up, she used the mind control spell to push her back down, though this time she only controlled her teacher's body. She wanted Celestia to be able to have a mind and feel just what was about to happen next.
Why don't you all take a break? I want to spend some time with my dear teacher,
she said with a grin as she levitated their bodies to the back of the throne room before putting up a force field so she couldn't be interrupted. They banged helplessly on the force field walls, shouting out Celestia's name.
Princess Luna, do something! Use the teleportation spell!
Fluttershy shouted at the blue alicorn. Luna was staring helplessly, sitting down on her haunches.
I can't. It would just push me back here,
she answered as images flashed into her mind. This battle was so similar to that of her as Nightmare Moon facing her own sister. This time, things were different. This time, there was no hope. Author's note. Gasp! The elements! Celestia abuse! Twilight had an identity change!
Dear sweet Celestia?
What will happen next? Just as a reminder, the next chapter is basically the last, but there will be a small one after it. The one after the last is more like an OVA, a short chapter that's basically like an aftermath of the story. The end.